Good afternoon to everybody. I'll start sharing my screen with our presentation about the Show Racism Red Card campaign or program that we have been doing. If everything goes well, you can now see my PowerPoint. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because now I'm on full screen. I'll try to explain in a 10 minutes time about the project Racism Red Card that has been going at Club Brugge for 1 year now, 1 season now. To start off, I'll give some small background about our organization and our football club. As Club Brugge Foundation, we're the CSR department of the Belgian Football Club Club Brugge. We have several projects, CSR projects, based on the fields of sport, social inclusion, health and education. A lot of them we do also together with EFDN as a pan-European project, one of which is the Show Racism Red Card. And as an organization, separate organization, but with very strong links with the football club, we also tried and successfully tried to influence and support the CSR policy of the entire football club. The mission that together with the football club we have written out is wanting to be the leading club on CSR in Belgium as a pioneer. And the goals, it's the same thing like most of you as a football club use the social power of football to do something good, to influence on a positive way, make a social contribution to people's lives. That's also one of the reasons why we, I guess it was in 2018, the first request of EFDN to participate in the first application for the Show Racism Red Card project. We're happy that in 2019 it was selected by the European Union to support the European Commission and to be as Club Brugge part of a pan-European organization together with all these other clubs who all have a different approach, different size, a different region as well. Like Chelsea, that's in a big city like London, and Bruges, we have a small city, but a big approach on fans. Every club has its own position inside their region and as the size of a football club, but we all share the same idea. We use the same methodology by using the power of the football club to show racism red cards, to put out a stance on that. The main objectives have already been explained by EFDN, but it's to raise awareness on diversity, social cohesion, reduce the violence linked to racism as well, to make society aware of the negative impact of racism, but also by promoting that diversity is not a threat. Diversity is something that can be an asset. Because if you look at the football club, the dressing room, we have, last time we checked, it was 17 nationalities inside the dressing room. And it's that diversity that makes a football club the way it is. And we believe that's an asset, that's something good. We also wanted to participate in this project because it's not just a reaction to some incident, which has been in the past a few times. A reaction to an incident that happened with fans during a match. No, this is a project that really works proactively with youth, with children, school children, instead of being reactive. As Club Brugge, we have the largest fan base in Belgium with several cultures inside our fan base. We have had some incidents in the past, but that doesn't fit the way we as a football club want to be, and it doesn't fit our ethical policy. And as already explained by EFDN, it's still an actual topical issue in 2021. Like we heard from Georgian law or incidents in Georgia yesterday, the Hungarian question with LGBT colors, rainbow colors. It's always still topical. One of the nice things about this program is what it doesn't only target on fans, but also on schools and on grassroots football players and fans as well. But it's those three groups, those different type of groups that we wanted to target, that we found very nice in the show racism red card. As explained, there are two big fractions inside the project. It's the DIVERSITYWINS educational part, which I'll explain later on, then the red card campaign, which was already explained, to give a small insight. Due to COVID as well, we had to maintain our focus last season on the educational part, on the schools. And it was between the age group of 12 and 14 years old, some new environment for us to target. How did we start? We wanted to know how can we best reach the schools, the educations, the teachers, the principals. So we put it out and just a small message on our social media channels of the Brugge Foundation requesting, hey fans, do you know someone who's a teacher or a principal at a high school? Let us know. We would like to have a small chat with them. We had a massive reaction of teachers. We explained the project idea and also how would you as a teacher or as a principal would like to get involved. Do you want us as a foundation to go to your school and give the lessons? Or do you want to be, as a teacher, be empowered to give those lessons towards your students, towards your pupils? With that information, we started, and it was in June, and during the summer period, we started starting to implement a new phase. And we organized a starting event or an information event without any obligations towards all the teachers. At first, we invited the high schools from the inner region of Brugge and a little bit of surrounding neighborhoods. We almost suddenly reached as well teachers and schools from like 100 kilometers away who said, okay, I've read about the program, or some fan told me about it, or some other teacher told me about it. Can we participate as well? Then later on, we invited for that info event even more, up to 200 schools to come to the football stadium, called Brugge as well, to learn about the program, to get some information about the lessons, the workbook, explain how it all goes into work. And together with an organization that is called School Without Racism, we organized a workshop to empower the teachers, to empower the principals, to make their school and non-racism or racism-friendly, non-racism-friendly environment for children. That evening, the schools had the opportunity to register as well as immediately to participate, and to get all the information. And you have to take them by the hand at the moment that they are still interested. So we offer them, okay, if you want, you can start the program tomorrow. Next day tomorrow, you can take the books, the workbooks, the teachers' manuals, the students' workbooks, together with you, together with all the materials, together with the pens, with the mouth masks, the captain's bands, with all the information that is necessary. And we had a massive 800 pupils, 17 schools, 800 pupils who were interested. Due to COVID, some schools said, okay, perhaps not in phase 1, but in phase 2, that starts in January. But we had, during the first phase from September, December, we had 400 pupils who participated in phase 1. We did the information event again in January, due to COVID, also with a live stream for the people who followed it at home. And then again, we had another massive turnout of teachers who wanted to participate. And that's how we reached last season 2,000 pupils in 2 phases, from 12 to 14 years old, 17 schools, 73 classes from all around the region of Flanders. There's not only Brugge, but the farthest away school was 120 kilometers away from where our stadium stands. And the teachers that conducted the program, later on also some survey results, they said, okay, it's a very good program. It's all made up. It's all already user friendly. It's valuable. It's accessible for the teachers. It talks to the students in a very accessible way. During the second phase, we also had the invitation of our president of the football club, together with the Minister of Equal Affairs of Flanders, who visited the school to participate during a lesson, to see how valuable it was to get reactions directly from the students themselves. And also at the end, that's one of the things that was a little bit difficult in COVID times. Normally a closing event of the educational series of 7 lessons is in the closing events where you have invite all the participants to your stadium or to your ground. Of course, due to COVID, you couldn't invite 2,000 students to come. So we had an online event during Microsoft Teams, a Teams call with up to 50 schools and classes. As you can see here on the picture, it's quite massively. We had during the closing event the kind of webinar or online event, interviews with players, players of the first team, players of the women's team as well, not only talking about how they see racism or they see diversity, but also the things that they have encountered. Like for instance, on the top right, one of our, it's the captain of our women's team, who explained, okay, discrimination also happened when I was playing in a boys team, and they said, okay, you're a girl, you can't play football. Also, that's some part of discrimination, not being able to fully participate in society. So that was very interesting as well. We also organized a Kahoot quiz, as you can see, up to 2,400 participants who had to answer. The answers that the children gave were also very interesting for us to see if we had reached a good impact. Do they know more about what the topics are all about? And I hope this video works. It's almost the last video. We also did some competition during the period of the Show Racism the Red Card educational campaign. All participating classes have to conduct or apply an application for to win a trophy of the Show Racism the Red Card school. And this was the reaction of the winning school being announced as the winner. So they were the winning school of the best activity. They made a kind of rap song about diversity, about discrimination, about how they are tackling it. It was very good. They got a private special VIP tour inside the stadium. They got an extra gift for all the students. So that was very successful for them. I'll try to make it in time. We also had the results during with the upshot surveys about the answer. What do they think of the course? The students answered that it was very interested or interesting to follow, so it reached its goal. Which lessons were the most interesting? It's also interesting to see that LGBTQ is something that students of that age found very interesting to talk about, and some are less interesting. But also that was one of the goals, to break down the taboo about diversity, about racism, about discrimination. We asked how comfortable they feel by discussing or talking about it with their teachers, their friends, and their parents. You can see it's almost the same graph, the same charts, that they agree that by following these lessons, they are more able to speak comfortably about racism, discrimination, talk about it, speak about it with teachers, friends, and parents. Because they have more knowledge about it, they are less unknown, and the taboo has been tackled or breaking down. Also for the teachers, they are at the same valuables of participating as teachers, almost the same lessons as well, which is more interesting for them. And they have seen that this really affects the pupils in an effective way. Here the same thing. They are very enthusiastic about lessons because it's fully developed. It's plug and play. They can use it directly, and it leads to breaking a taboo and change in behavior of the students. There comes in third phase. We already reached 2,000 pupils, but we are still happy that there is a lot of interest of new schools and known schools who participated last edition, who said, okay, we started off with 2 or 3 classes, but we would like to participate with the entire school or the entire year between 12 and 14 years old. But also some new schools who read about it during newspapers, during videos, during social media activity, who said, okay, this sounds something like we want to participate as well with our school. How can we get the information? So at the end of August or beginning of September, we'll organize the next information event, perhaps during a football game, and afterwards they can see the match of Club Brugge at home. But to make them acquainted with what the project is all about and to learn about it. Some small overview with the red card campaign as well. I'll make it in time, but we also started with using the red card as a symbol to promote it, to share the simple but necessary message with youth, or youth players, with our women's team, with our under 7 to first team squad. But I'm happy to see that the campaign for the grassroots clubs, which we have a lot of connection with, in the nearest region, can also be part of the red card campaign, which we are trying to implement next season when COVID is hopefully not a game changer. Racism and discrimination, just some small pictures. It's not because we participate in this project that it's something that we are that it will never happen again. But it's a way of us as Club Brugge pointing out that it doesn't have a place in football. How can we react to it? As you can see all across Europe, it's something that it's still necessary those ages to have a strong reaction. We can't change the world, but we can change our world as a football club to make sure that we do the right thing to stop that. Stop sharing.